In one of pro-male revolutionaries' videos, he mentioned something truly profound. He said that gender roles only harm men, they benefit women. Now, this is something that every man needs to understand, and it's surprising how many men don't. If you push level headed people far enough, they will concede that the provider role has been harmful to men in the last 100 years or so. Obviously, they will try to rationalize this and try to blame men by saying something like, men didn't allow women to work, or something along those lines. But if you talk about pre industrial societies, suddenly people from completely different ends of the political spectrum seem to form this deadly alliance and basically believe the exact same thing. They will state that in a pre industrial society with traditional gender roles uh, were favorable to the male sex and oppressive towards the female one. Gender roles have always benefited women at the cost of men, and it has been like that even in pre industrial societies. To gain a better understanding of how strict gender roles were beneficial to women at the cost of men, one has to look at what these gender roles entailed. So, strict gender roles means traditional monogamous marriage is socially and legally enforced. Adultery or promiscuity or any form of sexuality outside of this marriage is punished or has severe consequences. Work in such societies, being labor intensive, obviously means women do not want to partake in it and expect men to provide for them for the entirety of their lives. So we see that in such a system, a man has to basically commit his entire lifetime of labor to one single woman in order to gain sexual and reproductive access to said woman, while women are shielded from the harsh conditions required to sustain oneself in such an environment, and men undertake even heavier burdens of work to provide for the family. If these socially enforced gender roles are to be removed in a pre industrial society where women are unwilling to do physical work, we will basically see women resorting to prostitution, as they have always done, and men leveraging their labor to gain access to these women, as they have always done. But without the enforcement of the marriage contract and other institutions of traditional gender roles, we see that this severely disadvantages women as they can no longer be taken care of by the virtue of their mere existence. This would obviously improve the condition of the average man, as he no longer has to enter an extremely unfair contract called marriage and offer his entire lifetime of labor to one woman and greatly worsen the living conditions of women at the same time. So we can clearly see how destruction of gender roles in a pre-industrial society would have disastrous results for women and mostly positive results for men. Now, modern discourse surrounding gender roles is highly toxic towards men. Due to the failing economy and harsh conditions of the current job market, we are seeing a rise of neo-traditionalist women who basically want higher status men to shield them from the ills of society, as men have always done, whereas modern anti-gender role rhetoric spewed by feminists is nothing but smokescreen. Feminists, or women I should say, do not want to abolish gender roles whatsoever, as they are the ones who benefit from it the most. They simply want to impose new gender roles onto men. The gender roles of the past are no longer as beneficial to women, as they come with some limitations, so they seek to impose new gender roles onto men where they are silent and obedient and will pander to women without expecting anything in return, or lest they face severe consequences. And this is something that all men need to understand. Okay, that is all. Thank you.